Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Main Event Interviews here on MSP Waves Radio. My name is Main Event. I am your host tonight, and I am joined once again by Poetic Snake. How you doing, Snecky?
Good evening, Maine. I am doing well. I hope you as well. And good evening, everybody in the MSP Waves audience room.
Yes, welcome, everybody. If you are joining us in the Peace, Abundance, Liberty server on Discord, of course, home of the Minnow Support Project, we are on the air in that room as well, and you can join us in MSP Waves audience, that room, and type to us, and we can see that in real time, and we'll chat along with you and try to have some interactive conversation here on the show tonight. Let's see who's in the audience chat room currently. We are starting things off here. If you're just tuning in, again, this is the Main Event Interview Show here on MSP Waves. Working title, though, I don't know. We might have to alter it a little bit. Snecky's getting pretty famous on here, and so we might have to alter that title a little bit. We'll see.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, initially I didn't really have a name picked out, so that's just kind of what stuck. You know, it was like, well, I'll just use that. And so it's worked for now, but it seems to be evolving a bit and everything, so maybe eventually we'll get a different show name. But for now, we'll just stick with that. Everybody's used to it. And again, this show airs every Wednesday here on MSP Waves. We're doing a new showtime this week because of daylight savings, the time change. We were on from 6 to 8 Eastern Time, but now we're going to try out 5 to 7 because that actually keeps the time the same in UTC, which we had always advertised as 10 to midnight UTC. So we're still on that same schedule, but as far as Eastern Standard Time, we are now an hour earlier. And it is a lot darker now, a lot earlier. Man, I don't know. I miss the sun. I'm not really looking forward to this cold season, Snecky. I'll be honest with you.
Well, I will be honest with you. I am looking forward to tons of snow and rolling around in it. So,
Yeah, we are actually getting forecasts for some snow here this week. They said we may see our first inch of snow. I'm really not looking forward to it, but it is what it is. It's November in New England, here, USA, so winter's going to come eventually. At least we got through Halloween. That's always, I remember as a kid, it's like you'd always be praying that you could at least go trick-or-treating and not have to wear your ski pants, you know, so there wouldn't be snow already. So at least we got through Halloween. I'm hoping we can get till Thanksgiving at least here in America before we get any significant snow where I'm at, but I don't think we're going to get so lucky.
when will Thanksgiving be?
It's in a couple weeks here, so we would have to get through
Yeah.
at least 2 more weeks before snow comes. But like I said, we're actually getting some in the forecast for later this week, so I don't think we're gonna get so
Awesome.
lucky. I'll post some pictures of the first snow if we get a good snowstorm. I posted some pictures of a pretty thick frost we got this morning. I actually had to scrape my windshield for the first time this morning
Yeah, I
with the
saw the
snow scraper.
pictures. They
So
were amazing.
so that was not exciting for me. I don't like waking up and having it be below freezing. That's not fun.
It is. It is super fun.
Let's check in with the audience chat room. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to the show. Happy you're all here with us. I'll scroll back up here. I see Savo. I see TechSlut joining us. I'm not sure if she's joined us for during the show before, but welcome. Thank you for joining us. Saipen Damashi, I see out there. Sim Girl, I see JJ, DBZ fan for a while. And he's actually got his regular name tonight. I'm shocked.
How about that?
I'm shocked.
Me too.
It's usually always something different. JJ, come
Yes.
on, you're slacking, buddy.
Change that name. Come on.
I see Top K-Pop in the audience. She most likely is going to join us later in the show tonight. We've got a bunch of guests lined up and some possible people waiting in the wings, too, if needed. So this is hopefully going to be a fun-filled show with lots of voices from your fellow Steemians. Again, this show is all about chatting and talking with people who use Steemit. And we just basically find out, what brought you to the platform, what you're blogging about, any, groups you've joined as far as, on Discord or things of that nature, and just have a chat with you. Let's see what you think about Steemit and the Steemit platform. and what you've been doing so far with your blog. So again, if you're just joining us, welcome. Make sure you say hello in the MSP Waves audience chat room on the Peace, Abundance, Liberty server on Discord. That, of course, home of the Minnow Support Project, which is an amazing group of Steemit users who are there to assist you if you're a new Steemit user. Maybe if you're listening to this and you are not part of the PAL network, head on over, check it out if you'd like. And there's lots of people there who are ready to chat with you. You know, there's a lot of curators there. There's a lot of interesting people there in the PAL network, wouldn't you say, Poetic Snake?
A lot of very interesting people indeed, yes.
So shout out to everybody in Minnow Support. We appreciate all the work everybody does there and just the friendship and the networking we're able to do there. You're all a great group of people. We appreciate you. Of course, shout out to Of course, shout out to everybody at MSP Waves as well. Shout out to Rhonda and Global Cop, who put in a lot of work to keep this station going. Uni Wisp, Cubby Elizabeth's been doing a lot of posts for the radio station. So shout out to everybody involved with that. Crimson Clad, I know, is involved as well. Appreciate all the work everybody does for the radio station. If I missed you, I'm sorry. But, definitely shout out to everybody. You can find a full listing of all the radio shows on mspwaves.com. If you're tuning in and were curious, yes, there's lots of different shows. They're all done by people on Steemit. And if you would like to do a show, certainly get in contact with, Rondon, Global Cop, UniWisp, any of those folks, Crimson as well, myself, and we can get you started. And as long as you're able to do a show basically the same time each week, that's the biggest thing. You can't say I want to do it at this time this week and then move it all around. I can't say much. We did move our show this week. We were offered that choice, though. But yeah, no, if you're interested in doing a show, just get a hold of us, and I'm sure that we could get you on the air. Snecky, what do you got going on with your Steemit blog this week? Anything you want to mention before we get going?
Well, I did some painting, of course, again, like every week. And I also did a open mic entry with Snacky, so that was fun.
You did an open mic, huh? Why don't you tell us about that a little bit?
Well, the snake likes to sing for some reason. And I think she did a great job, though. Yeah.
So again, that's Poetic Snake speaking. If you haven't followed her yet on Steemit, Snake, if you want to share your blog in the chat, go right ahead. That way people can go check out your Steemit profile. And of course,
I will do that.
All the episodes of this show do get posted right on my Steemit blog as well. I'll share that near the end of the show. Appreciate you all following my blog. I'm getting close to that big magic 1,000 followers. Ooh, which I really appreciate. That's actually way more than I have on any other social media. So to have that many on Steemit is truly awesome, and I really appreciate you all supporting what I do. So let's see here. Any other names popping up in the chat? Of course, Jack Johannes is out there. He's going to be on the show later on. Sim Girl, I'm not sure if I mentioned her already. But yeah, I appreciate you all tuning in. There's a bunch of people on the chat room on Discord listening to the show, and then I'm sure there's a bunch listening on our other sources as well. Appreciate you all tuning in. It is about 8 minutes past the hour. This is the Main Event Interviews Show, so let's go ahead and do some of that. Let's do some interviewing. So let's bring on our first guest here, if she is ready to go. Stace, are you there?
Hello?
Hello, Stace. How are you doing?
Hi, doing good.
So we are visiting right now with, actually, your Steemit name is Stacy Jean, right?
Yes. Yes, that's correct.
So I'll go ahead and I'll share that here in the chat room. Stacy, or Stace, I should call you. That's what you prefer. Whereabouts in the world are you this evening?
I'm in the Pacific Northwest, Washington State.
Awesome. And how long have you been on Steemit so far?
I've been on for about... I actually haven't been keeping track, but it's got to be less than a week. maybe like a week and a half.
Wow, so
Not sure.
you've only been on for a week so far.
Yeah, I'm just kind of exploring. I'm usually just on Facebook trying to keep up with my old battle buddies because I'm a veteran of the Navy, and unfortunately, I actually heard of one of my shipmates. He had a fellow Marine, I believe, that took his own life just yesterday.
Well, I thank
So,
you for your service, and I'm very sorry to hear that. But again, we do thank you for your service, and we welcome you to Steemit, even though under some difficult circumstances.
Yeah, it's it's a lot of people. I'm just. It's sad to say, but I am pretty numb to it at this point. But it's good for other people to know that we're out there, and that if somebody like PTSD and depression, it doesn't have a look, it doesn't have a face. It could look as bright as ever in front of everybody. So it's important to develop friendships, and yeah, that's one of the reasons actually why I'm here, is to explore outside of Facebook and reach out, because I just realized like there's a whole other world out there. Facebook is everybody you've ever known, and then Steemit is like hello the rest of the world type of thing for me anyways. So yeah,
that is a really great way to put it. That's perfect, actually. And to hear that coming from somebody that's only been on the platform for a week, I think is really telling. Because Steemit is still very new, of course. I'm not even sure how long it's been around. It's been around for a couple of years, I believe. But it's still new. It's still in a beta. As I'm sure, as you've seen, it has some issues sometimes with posting and things of that nature, but they're working on it, I believe. It does seem to be getting better. But what you're saying totally makes sense, and I feel the same way. I mean, for me now, Facebook and things like that are much more localized. It's the people I know in my geographical area, like I said, or like you said.
Yes.
And the people.
It's like an echo chamber.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. It's the people you
just kind of you feeding the rest of like what you think, and just oh, this person doesn't get along with my opinion, unfriend, delete. It's just ridiculous.
I totally
so,
agree.
Yeah.
Steemit is a lot different, though, because I'm sure you've seen, once you start getting into some of these groups like the PAL network and you start talking to different people, you realize that the people that are here aren't there for the same reasons they are as on Facebook, and it seems like people here are much more open-minded. They're much more friendly. They're not there.
Yes.
They're not there to judge you. Some might be. Of course, there's always trolls out there.
Oh, there's always those. Yeah.
They're gonna.
I do a little bit of that, just some lighthearted trolling.
And that's gonna be out there, but. So,
yeah.
What's your overall opinion of it so far, even though you've only been on a week so far? What do you think so far?
I actually love it. I loved all the people that I've met so far. It's just like a very rich climate, I guess you could say. Like that, it's I don't know. There's just something, I find something every day about somebody, and it's great. Like today, I always approach my problems in a philosophical manner. Just because it costs a lot to go to therapy, you know what I mean? But I do have the help of the VA, but you have to trust your therapist for it to work. And so I just talked to somebody earlier today, and he was giving me some, scientific methods of like, hey, if you're in a slump, you should really question why you're there and not just lay there. Well, he didn't say it like that. That's just how I interpreted it. Just because that's what I do. So, but yeah, I thought it was great that, because I wouldn't get that in the same audience as, Facebook or anything like that. And I also like the idea of, I don't know, everybody seems to rally towards, like, for each other here. Like, it's a very, I don't know how to put it. I feel like I went off on a tangent. I do that sometimes.
No, that's great. That's what we want. We want you to speak your mind. It's kind of like a community, I guess is how I describe it. it's people, they're going to have differences sometimes. It's kind of, there are almost some sibling rivalries that almost go on sometimes with people that get a little they get a little too friendly. But
Oh
it's
yeah.
compared to other platforms I've seen, it's night and day as far as the number of people that I have dozens of people now that I feel like I could message anytime and just talk to them. And I didn't have that before I joined
Exactly.
Steemit, you know.
Yeah, and it's like you put a tab on them, like, okay, this is my music guy or my, I have I'd like to mention somebody right now, Saipan Damashi. I don't know if you're in the crowd because I'm not on the comment section, but he's the guy that brought me here. He's my old battle buddy from the Navy. And yeah, I guess he knew that this was for me, and I'm so glad. I'm trying to get more people into it because they're missing out. They have skills that they can monetize and they're not. They're stuck because they're just looking at the system and not everything outside the system. So yeah, just a quick shout out to Saipan.
Absolutely. Just so you know, Stace, too, you can navigate away from the server we're in to go back to PAL if you want, and you'll still stay in this voice room. Just if you want
I'll
to.
probably check out
Just so you know. Oh,
the
you're
audience
right.
afterwards.
Excuse me.
Because,
actually, you're on your phone, aren't you? So I forgot
yeah,
about that.
I'm on my phone.
I forgot about that. Sorry. Just kidding. Just
it's
kidding.
Okay.
But
It's
everybody's Saipan's here. He's got his hands up in the chat, so he's here and he hears
Woohoo!
you. So I'm sure he appreciates
Show
that
your
shout
hands
out.
up.
Yeah, that's my family. We're both islanders, and we both served our country as best we could, and then we're both here because we saw what the military showed us, pretty much. So, but yeah, so I don't know.
Well, we're happy you're both here. So, what have you been using Steemit for so far in your first week? Have you done any blogging or anything like that, or had you done blogging before Steemit at all?
No, if you consider Facebook blogging, then yes. But no, this is my first experience, and a lot of people in Facebook, my friends, my family, are like, you should do blogging, but it was about makeup, and I was like, and I'll pass. Like that's just kind of what I do on the surface because I'm a skilled artist and I don't have any equipment other than makeup, so that's what I do. And then so I just tried out some writing because that's like my first love is writing, and then my second love is drawing. So Steemit actually helped me, it inspired me to pursue my graphic novel. And yeah, and I actually wanted to talk about that because I'm looking for people to jump on board with that idea. So yeah, if anybody's listening and is down for either brainstorming, just coming up with the idea with me, I'm down. I'm down for whatever. So just DM me.
And so your Discord name though is a little different than your Steemit name because your Steemit name is Stacy Jean, but your Discord name right now is just Stace, right? STACE.
Yes,
Okay.
and it's also displayed Stace on my Steemit, but my account to search for it, I have to search for Stacy Jean.
Right. Yeah, and I did just share that in the audience chat room. Again, we are visiting with Stace right now. And let's see, does anybody out in the audience have any questions for our new Steemit user? Or do you have questions at all, Stace? We don't mind if you want.
I actually do.
Sure, go right ahead.
So yeah, I've been talking with a couple of friends for a while about two things. One is a dream channel. Just because I know, I don't know if it's me just gravitating towards this subject, but it always comes about in conversation with any of my friends. Just processing dreams or just talking about your dreams, your physical dreams, your goals, things like that, and how they're all related. If anybody's interested in that, please DM me because I need 10 people that are interested in that. But the other one that I really wanted, and this is one that I would rather rally against rather than that one, is a mental health channel. We have recovery addiction, so I went in there for some mental health, and I received help from there from just another user, and it was great. But I would like to divide the two because some people have these mental health issues and they don't see themselves as recovering addicts or anything like that. They have mental issues, and some people don't have access to sort of information for coping for that, and I'd like to provide a place for them. So if anybody's interested in that idea, also DM me. So just put in there whether you're put Dreamers Anonymous would be the dream channel, and then the mental health would just be mental health. So everybody, it's a broad, everybody gets it. But
you got my support. You got my support for sure. So that is a really,
awesome.
really, really good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I utilized Steemit for some therapy reasons as well. I haven't written poems in a long time, and I put some out there. The most recent one is my favorite, and I hope anybody that is listening checks it out, because it's kind of like a window into me, like what goes on, in my head. So I feel like that's what poems do, and it's great. And yeah, check it out. It's a really good way to do some therapy. If you haven't done poems, like, I recommend trying it, or just jotting any kind of words out. Doesn't have to rhyme, just has to be words fueled by emotion,
Yeah, poetry is sometimes seen as very hard, and people think that it needs to rhyme, but that's just not the case. I rhyme a lot as well. I do it on a daily basis to gather my own emotions and put them in place. So yeah, I agree with you. It's just a wonderful way to cope with what's going on, and even if you want to share it with the world, and maybe be that little spark of light somebody needs.
Exactly. Yeah, because sometimes that's all it takes for someone to stay here on this plane of existence. One person that I tried to get on this platform, she revealed to me that she was contemplating suicide. She had somebody, ready to take care of her cat, and she was like, yeah, if I didn't go, and this is my friend, you know what I mean? And the only reason why I didn't contact her was because of my own thoughts of how I meant to her, when really reaching out would have been the best thing to do, because of my fear of being a bad friend by bugging her or whatever, thinking that I wasn't really a friend to her could have potentially harmed her. But now, I know, hey, you don't know how much you mean to somebody. You should probably, I don't know. I always tell people that, hey, we're all family. Like, there's no weirdness in saying, hey, what's up to somebody that you just added as friends on Facebook for business purposes. You know what I mean? Like, hey, everybody's got a soul, everybody's got a spirit.
Absolutely. Yep. I totally agree with everything you've said. Just to touch on that, I know that is a subject that has gone around a bit with minnow support and things of that nature, and we all do want to try to help everybody. Of course, we are not qualified professionals. That's the biggest thing. So it just had to always be careful, how you'd go about those things. But, providing links to professionals is always a good thing, and for information where people can get those supported, those things that they're looking for and that could help them, that could be definitely something that could be a possibility. So if you're interested in certainly helping out with those sorts of things, that could be a possibility. So definitely keep that afloat. So we'll certainly look into that for you. Snack,
Thank you. Yeah.
Snack, did you want to comment anything or?
No, I just think it's a heavy subject, and I just want to say, if there's anything on your mind, just always reach out. Just like Stay said, goes both ways. If you are the one who's feeling down, or if you are the one who is, at the sideline, just reach out, show the love. Be there.
Yep. And again, we are not professionals, so you always have to do your own research, seek your own help and advice. But certainly, yeah, it's a heavy subject, and hopefully it can be looked into a bit. But what other things do you plan on using Steemit for, Stace? Do you have any more ideas for possible blog topics? You said you do things with makeup. I mean, I know you kind of laughed at that, but somebody out there on Steemit might find that very interesting.
Yeah, I felt bad for laughing at that because it's not like I'm not passionate about it. I just kind of laugh at it in the way I don't know.
Well, it's
it seems so minuscule compared to so much other things that I could draw attention to. But actually, if anybody is interested in that, I wouldn't mind putting that in my blog because it's something I'm passionate about.
Well, and your Steemit blog isn't limited to one topic either. I mean, like
exactly.
I post about different things all the time as much as I can. I try to do some photography, some radio stuff. Like I'm all over the place. But as long as you've got some followers from each of those, fields of topics, then you should do fine. So, and you might be surprised at what things you blog about get the best results. I mean, you never know.
Exactly. Kind of thinking about testing the waters with certain subjects and just seeing where it takes me or where it leads me with the upvotes anyways and promoting. So that's what I love about MSP because I don't think I'd get this kind of attention otherwise if I chose to just go on Steemit and go it alone, like be some sort of lone wolf trying to get, upvotes. It's not going to work as effectively. It's like a direct link to a community. So yeah, it's great. Like, I don't know.
I know that's what the group strives for. I mean, that's why it's the Minnow Support Project, right? And
exactly.
They definitely want to help people succeed with their Steemit careers, and as long as everybody's polite and can get along, then that probably can happen. Some people choose not to do that sometimes, but for the most part, everybody
that's unfortunate. Yeah.
For the most part, though, everybody is relatively friendly and helpful. And, again, if you're listening out there and you haven't checked out the PAL network, it's the Peace, Abundance, Liberty server on Discord. Of course, home of the Minnow Support Project. You can find that on Steemit. It's just at Minnow Support, all one word. And so you've been on here. How long have you been on PAL since you joined Steemit? Just a couple of days, or?
I've been on maybe just as long. I think I joined Steemit, and then Saipan was telling me to join Discord so I can join the conversation and meet new people. And I was like, I don't know, because I always tell everyone I don't trust anybody. So it's like, okay, I'm going to open myself up to the rest of the world, I guess. So I mean, I do that during gaming anyways, but we're gaming, so.
Yeah, no, and we're definitely happy to have you here. So it's always nice to talk to people who are brand new to Steemit and who are excited and get them the resources that can really help them, like joining Minnow Support. And, you're understanding right out of the gate that you need to network and socialize with people a little. And it took me a long time to figure that out. I didn't find Minnow Support, I don't think, until at least a month or so after I joined Steemit. So I kind of
took me a year.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh man.
So I mean, I floundered around.
I thought that was just the thing to do. I was like,
well, it is.
I just jumped right on board. I was like, oh, okay.
It is now. I think it's actually on the home screen. How did you find it, if you don't mind me asking? Do you remember?
Just Saipan, because he's the one that blogged first. He got like 100 followers his first week. Freaking savage. And so yeah, I was like, well, let me jump on this freaking gravy train. Let me see what's going on here. And I checked it out, and I was like, oh wow, I was actually pleasantly surprised. It's not at all like Facebook. It's not at all like anything I've ever seen. The way it's, I don't know, formatted, I guess you could say. Eh.
Yeah, no, definitely. Let's see if anybody in the audience has questions for Stace here, or Snack. If you've got any questions or anything, feel free to jump in. But
Well, I see that Jack Johannes had a question. He's asking about what type of games you play, Stace.
Ooh, I like MOBAs. More specifically, I like Paragon. I've taken a big break just because there was a big event that happened in my life, so I just took a break from everything and everyone. But yeah, I'm ready to jump back on board to gaming, and you can catch me on Paragon. And I think that's all I have lined up right now.
And
besides
are
Super
RPG
Nintendo.
games?
RPG, oh, that's my jam. That was the first thing that I did whenever I started playing. I played Final Fantasy Tactics, which I bought it for my brother, but then as soon as he left, he gave it to me, and I was like, oh, he knew all along. I bought it for myself.
The best gift.
Right. And then that's when I got into gaming, and then a big one after that was Crisis Core. So I'm a big Final Fantasy fan. Yeah.
awesome. All right, let's see. Anybody else out there in the audience chat room? Let's give them some shout-outs here. I see Saipen Damashi out there in the chat. I see Clayboyne out there. Jack's out there. Eternorex, welcome. Let me scroll back up here. Top K-Pop's out there. She may be joining us on the show next, actually. So,
Nice.
Top K-Pop, if you hear that, just start getting ready, because I had another guest that was supposed to be getting on, but they just messaged me and asked if they could maybe join us in hour 2. So we do have an open time slot coming up, Top K-Pop. So if you're hearing this and you want to jump on next, just go ahead and start getting ready here. Let's see here. Well, Stace, we really appreciate you joining us on the show here. Any last-minute shout-outs you want to give, or anything else you want to mention to the audience out there?
Hello?
Can you hear me still?
I don't know what just happened, but everything went silent.
Oh, I still hear you. Snack, do you hear me?
I do hear you. Can you hear me, Stace?
Yes. Yep.
Yes, now everything's clear.
Okay.
Everything's good.
Great. Yeah. No, I was just asking if you if there was anything else you wanted to mention, or anyone you give a shout out to, or just anything else you want to mention before we let you go.
Shout out to Clay. He also does poems and stuff and helps out minnows. And yeah, I like his work a lot. It's really good stuff.
All right. Awesome.
Oh, and shout out to Karim for doing everything that she does around here. I just noticed a lot of things, and I don't know, she's like a superwoman.
I totally agree. She definitely works hard. That's Crimson Clad. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. All right. Well, we really appreciate you being on the show tonight. And, of course, I've shared your blog a few times, but if anybody's listening that's not in the chat room, it's at Stacy Jean, right, on Steemit?
Yes.
All right. So, yeah, go give her a follow if you'd like. Go check out her blog, brand new Steemit user. She's only been on like a week so far. So let's definitely show her that, this place is not a place that's just a bunch of trolls and, people posting pointless stuff all the time. Let's show her that it is a good community here, and that, there's definitely some great things to be found here on Steemit. So. Well, thank you very much. Let's see. I don't know what's going on in the chat room here. I don't know if they all lost the audio. I think they did. So we'll give it a second here. Looks like they're coming back on here. We're still here, but I think they lost us. Can you all hear us now? All right.
Raise your hand if you can hear us.
Yes. All right, cool.
Now tell us if you rose your hand.
Saipen did.
Oh, nice.
Great. Well, all right. Well, again, we're visiting with Stace. Her name is Stacy Jean on Steemit, so definitely check out her blog and maybe give her a follow if you'd like. I'm sure a new Steemit user, that's always much appreciated. Stacy,
Yeah.
thank you so much for being on the show tonight. It was a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. This is the first time I've done something like this, so it's great. It's a great experience. I'm glad I did it, but despite my fear. So
No problem. Well, we appreciate you being on. I will be posting the show after tonight's show on my Steemit blog, so feel free to check that out later on if you'd like, and if you want to share that with your friends or whatnot, go right ahead. But again, that's
definitely, yeah.
All right, so that is Stacy Jean, everybody. Stacy, you're welcome to hang out in the room here that we're chatting in. Just go ahead and mute your mic. But if you want to say a last goodbye, go right ahead.
All right, awesome. Just thanks for having me. Bye.
It was wonderful to have you here, Stace.
All right, so again, that's Stacy Jean on Steemit. You can check out her blog and find out more about her. Really appreciate her being on. That was really fun.
It was, yes. Very interesting.
Sneck, who's all in the audience chat room here?
I see Business SWRI. I have no idea how to announce that. I see Clayboyne, Crimson Glad, JJ, of course, and Jack. And I see a few new names. Nyalon 11, Safisada, and of course Saipan Damashi, Sevo, Simgirl. I see them all. And Top Keep Up is still with us. Thank you all for joining us.
Yes, we're going to get Top K-Pop on the show here in just a moment. Snecky, I'm going to put your co-hoster skills to the test here. All right.
Oh, no. Are you sure about that?
Yes. I'm going to give you control here for about a minute and a half. Can you handle that?
No.
Can you keep our audience going for about a minute here? I just have to step away from my computer for just a second. It'll only take a second.
Okay, I will try my best.
Go ahead and if you're listening out there, give us a shout out here in the audience, and Sneck can give you all a shout out here on the show. Let us know what country you're listening from. Actually, type out the country name. We appreciate it when you show your flags, but I don't always know all the flags, so I apologize. But yeah, let us know what country you're listening to the show from, and Sneck can mention all of that and see how many different countries we have. So I'm going to step away for just a second, Snecky.
Okay, well, first of all, Nomad, so I am not going to sing a live song. That is out of the question. But I also see we are having people from the United States of America, Sweden, Canada, and Kapistan. Rondon, you are joking with me. I see the Republic of South Africa, New Zealand, Sweden, Canada again, Ireland, the Netherlands, of course, and I think Belgium as well. I am from the Netherlands, so that is a lot of different countries. So if you all could have a choice, would you stay in the countries that you're living in, or would you move to something else? What are the countries you would love to live in?
All right, I'm back.
Oh, okay. I was just welcome back.
So tell me, where is everybody from tonight?
They are from all over the world. Did
Wonderful.
You miss it all?
I did.
Sweden. I saw Ireland, Canada, South Africa, and oh my God, the chat is going crazy.
Okay, I just invited Top K-Pop into our room here. Can you hear us? I see her microphone's not muted, so hopefully she should be good to go.
Yes, I can.
All right, wonderful. Welcome to the show, Top K-Pop.
Thank you.
I'm saying your name correctly, right?
You are, which is awesome because most people don't.
No one says my name correctly either, so don't feel bad.
Okay.
Now, whereabouts in the world are you, Top K-Pop? Because a lot of people are going to assume that you're Somewhere in Korea, probably.
I am not, unfortunately. I want to visit Korea, well, specifically kind of Seoul area, but I am living just outside of Tampa, Florida at the moment.
Okay, very cool. And so you're gonna have to tell us what's the obsession with the K-pop?
Oh gosh, like do you have hours or days? I just, you know what, back in like 2009, I was experimenting with new music. I've kind of always been a little different when it comes to music. And I came across a video on YouTube and I fell in love with it. And no, it was not Gangnam Style. And it started, one song, then another. And I have been obsessed for, 8 or 9 years now.
Yeah, I'm a DJ, and so I remember when Gangnam Style came out. Of course, super popular song, right? And I remember playing it, and I remember when I first played it for the first time, everybody just looked at me like, "What are you doing?" And then, sure enough, it was like a week or so later, it broke, on all the radios, and it was just this big phenomenon. But I personally haven't heard a whole lot of other stuff really get mainstream though here in the U.S. But it is interesting music for sure, and it's interesting that you like that's your favorite.
It is. And no, I mean, that was the biggest mainstream song. You can also find, what is it? There's a 2NE1 song. It's a group that disbanded last year, and they're on Just Dance, one of the video games. And on top of that, actually, this past year, a group called BTS just got an award for social media, and they're going to be on one of the American programs, I believe, this month. So look out for that. I think it's the AMAs. So look out for that because they are my boys, man.
All right. Well, we'll definitely watch for that.
Can you tell I love it? Like, seriously?
Well, that's great. Hey, everybody's got their own things that they're into, so there's nothing wrong with that at all. So how long have you been on Steemit so far?
I have been on, I just checked, it's about 107 days.
Okay, and so what brought you to the platform? Like, was it something you heard about? Was it a friend? How did you even find your way here?
Well, to be honest, I was considering doing something with kind of some of my own interests because I've been on Twitter, I've been on Facebook, and you can kind of get caught up in that world. And my husband mentioned Steemit to me, and he signed me up for an account, and he signed himself up. He does not blog, but I took off with it, and I've been blogging pretty much every day since I signed up.
Awesome. And had you done blogging before you joined Steemit, or is this your first go around with that?
I have never blogged in my life, actually. So this is totally my first go around.
I just want to pull up your blog here. It's the same name on Steemit, right? Top K-pop.
It is indeed.
Okay. I'm going to share that in here. All right. So, you like to do some writing, it looks like. What other things have you been posting lately on Steemit?
Well, I am kind of one of those people that is all over the place. I'm kind of narrowing it down. But I mean, obviously, in the earlier days, I talked more about K-pop. I'm doing an art contest right now, and I do write. I'm trying to start writing some lyrics, actually, because I have some cool people that just came into my life because I wanted to start singing a little bit more because I love karaoke. But I wanted to kind of do something of my own interest. And on top of that, I love to play video games.
All right, very cool. What kind of games do you like to play?
I am an Xbox One girl all the way. So I love Halo 5, The Division, and Overwatch.
All right, cool. I'm an Xboxer too, so.
Yeah.
I'm actually lately, I'm a retro gamer. I'm all about collecting old retro games, like all the old systems and consoles and stuff. I'm much more into that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I just love it. It's from my childhood era, all the old school games. I'm really enjoying them lately. It's fun to go back and try to play them all because they're all so super hard.
Oh, I could absolutely imagine. I have what is it? I don't even know what it's called. It's like this one that has Viva Pinata and all these old ones. And they are a lot harder. Not that, but they're a lot harder than I thought they were back then too.
Yeah, absolutely. So, are there any people you want to give shout outs to, or any you can tell us about maybe any groups you're in or any projects you're working on or anything like that with Steemit?
Okay. I am part of a lot of stuff. I like to get involved. Man, I mean, the list could go on of how many people I would want to shout out. I will, however, I guess just kind of say MSP has been awesome. I'm part of, I'm in Team Canada all the time, and Krim is in there. So, I mean, you know, she mods it and she's Canadian. So, hi, Krim. And on top of that, I also am in the Alliance, as well as an arm of the Alliance, which is the Alpha Syndicate. So, I'm a leader in there. And I'm kind of all over the place, but I'm in a lot of different stuff because I like to get involved.
Well, that's a good thing. Those are the types of people we need on Steemit, you know. We want people who are involved and engaging and things of that nature. Do you have any upcoming plans or any kind of anything you want to mention that's coming up maybe, or anything of that like that?
Well, I have some little kind of secret stuff going on at the moment that's probably going to launch pretty soon. And I'm working on something. Oh, I'm not even going to be able to say the name right. And he's in here. I'm working on some music stuff with one of the awesome people in this room. So I can't say his name. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it wrong.
You want to spell it out here?
He knows who it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Fine. I'll say Sivo.
I think we had him on the show, and I thought he said Savo, but maybe not. Maybe I said it wrong.
See, I'm probably saying it wrong.
He spelled it out Sevo, so I would say that as Sivo, but I thought it was more. That's right. We mentioned that the French way to say it, and I'm unfortunately sort of French, so I say it's Savo, right? But it's not. I think it's Sivo.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. I got a lot of French Canadian in my family, so I would definitely read that as Savo, but it's Sivo.
See, and being from Canada, you would think I would do that as well, but no, doesn't click.
So what type of music are you two going to work on?
Well,
or do you not know yet?
Oh, sorry, what was that?
Or do you not know yet?
He makes a lot of different beats, so I'm just kind of picking from some of his, and he's very creative. I'm just kind of trying to write some lyrics and getting my voice out there at the moment. So I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, that I can do well at it because it's something I've wanted to do. I'm just a little new to it.
Nice. Do you play? Do you play instruments or anything like that?
Sadly, no. I have given up quite a few trying to do some, and it's not my thing.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Well, do we have questions for Top K-Pop out here in the audience? Let's see who's all out here. Let's give a shout out here to everybody. Snecky, you still here with me?
I am still with you all, yes.
Who do you see out in the chat room chatting away here?
I have to scroll up a little bit, but I still see SimGirl with us. Hey, I see Main Event is with us in the room as well. That's funny. And I see Crimson Glad, Sevo, or Sevo. And I see Safi Zara, I hope I say the name right. And I see HZ432 Creations. And Saipan. And Your Nomad Soul is still with us as well.
So we have a question from Your Nomad Soul. They want to know some of your guilty pleasure K-pop songs. So basically some of your favorites.
Well, let's see. Currently, I would have to say my favorite is DNA by BTS. If I had to do one that just kind of makes me swoon, it would be an older one, which is Eyes, Nose, Lips by Taeyang.
Nice. I'm not sure if you're chatting along in the audience chat room, but feel free to put those in there if you want.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That way people will know that. But yeah, okay. So any other questions for our guest here, Top K-Pop? Feel free to ask away, everybody. Again, you're tuning into the Main Event Interviews Show here on MSP Waves Radio. My name is Main Event, joined here with my co-host Poetic Snake, and we're visiting.
Good evening.
Yes. Tonight we're visiting with Top K-Pop. And we've got other guests on the way coming up later, so definitely stick around. We're going to be on the air for a little over another hour here, another hour and 10 minutes. We appreciate you all tuning in. Eternorex is asking for the YouTubes for those songs.
I'm getting them.
You can go ahead and put them. That's fine. Let's see. Appreciate you all tuning in, definitely. So, Top K-Pop, do you have, just other things you want to mention to the guests out there? Just anything else you want them to know about or know about your blog or projects you're working on or just anything else you want to mention?
Let's see. I would definitely say, keep anybody that's US based, keep a lookout for something going on. I know there is a lot of music stuff going on, and if you are interested in that kind of stuff, hit up Savo. And honestly, I'm going to say hello to my Alliance people, especially my co-lead for the Alpha, which is Safasara, because she's just amazing. And I love Steemit. That's definitely what I have to say. I mean, I feel so welcome here, and I try and give back as much as I can in terms of talking to people. I know some people haven't found exactly where they're sitting yet. So I just say to those, get out, try to join some communities, even come hit me up and talk to me because I'm pretty much always around. That's all I want to say. You guys are awesome.
Well, we appreciate that. I know everybody listening out there appreciates it as well. And thank you so much for joining us tonight, Top K-Pop. I want to share your blog one more time here in the chat room. So everybody feel free to check out her blog. Give her a follow if you like. We are visiting with Top K-Pop. All right.
Thank you so much, guys.
Anytime. Snecky, do you want to add anything there at the end or say goodbye?
I just wanted to say goodbye and thank you for joining us. It was amazing to meet you.
Thank you so much. It was as well.
All right, everybody. So that was Top K-Pop visiting with us tonight here on the Main Event Interviews Show. Really appreciate her joining us tonight. Thank you all for sticking around with us here. We got a little over an hour left of the show.
Woohoo!
And we've got
1 hour going.
And we've got two more guests that are going to be on tonight. First, we're going to have Photography Nomad on the show. And then I believe it's Jack Johannes is his name. He's going to be joining us later on in the show. Let me see if we can get Photography Nomad in here. This is the room. Again, you're listening to the Main Event Interviews Show here on MSP Waves. If this is your first time joining us, this show airs every Wednesday night. We have changed the time in Eastern Standard Time. It's now 5 to 7 p.m. Used to be 6 to 8, but of course due to the daylight savings time change, we did move it back in Eastern Standard Time terms. So it's now 5 to 7, but it's still the same in Universal Time, UTC. It's still 10 to midnight every Wednesday. So if you're just joining us and maybe you missed the first hour, we're on here every Wednesday. And I will be sharing this show on my Steemit blog, Main Event. It's just spelled with the number 1 instead of an I, because I was foolish when I joined, apparently. Yeah, so it will be on there later on tonight. Feel free to check that out and show your support if you would like. No pressure.
No pressure at all.
But of course, it is appreciated.
Do push that vote button.
Only if you want to. No pressure.
No pressure, but do it.
Okay, Snack, we can't tell them what to do, okay?
No?
We're
Okay.
just kidding. Do what you want, people.
Yes, do what you want.
It is about, what is it here? What time? It's about 5 minutes to the hour here. So yes, we've got a little over an hour left, so stick around. And let's see if we can get Photography Nomad here in the room. I've got to send her the link to the chat room here, so just give me 1 second. This is 100% live here. If you're listening on Wednesday night, November 8th, 2017. All right, so I just sent her the link. So let's see what happens here.
Boom, 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 boom.
Okay, I see Photography Nomad in the room. Her microphone is muted at the moment. Not sure if she knows that. Yep, just have to click the little microphone button there next to your name, and it should unmute it. You should be all set beyond that. So while we wait for her to unmute here, again, shout out to everybody listening in the audience chat room. If you're not there, you should be. You can join us in the Peace, Abundance, Liberty server on Discord, home of the Minnow Support Project. Join us in the MSP Waves audience chat room, and you can chat along live with us. Your Nomad Soul is saying that my number 1 is like an OG number. There's no need for shame. So okay.
I agree with
because
him.
you say so. Let's see. So photography's in here. It looks like she might be having a little trouble with her microphone. Let me see here. You shouldn't be denied access. Doesn't make any sense. Let me see here. Bear with me one moment. Sorry about that, everybody. She should be all set, so I'm not sure. We might have to move on, unfortunately. I don't want to, but because everybody else hasn't had an issue jumping in here, so
It's the first time, I guess.
hopefully she can hear us. She can hear us, so yeah, I'm not sure, Nomad. You really sure you can't? It's saying that you don't have access. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Maybe try leaving the room and entering again.
Okay. She says she's working on it, so we'll see if she figures it out. And as soon as if you get it working, Nomad, just jump in and start talking here.
Meanwhile, you can sing a song.
I'm not gonna sing a song, Snecky.
Why not?
That's your job. You're the one that does all the open mic and all that stuff.
Nuh-uh, not live. I do it hidden.
You want to tell everybody about that again? There's probably a bunch of people in here now that weren't here at the beginning of the show. So, what did you do this week, Snack?
Well, Snacky joined the open mic again, and it was a lot of fun, and she likes to sing, and, have fun that way, and trying to be out there, getting her name all settled in this music world, And there is this, I have a secret to tell about Snacky, but I can't go into details, but next week I'm going to join open mic with Snacky again, and it will be very, very special.
Oh, really?
Yes, I am making things for it as well, and I even have this little guitar, for her, a really cute little purple guitar.
Well, that's pretty interesting. We'll definitely have to watch for that.
Yes, I agree.
Let's try something here. Photography Nomad, can you still hear me? If you can hear me, type in the chat room there that we're in. Okay, she says yes. I'm going to try something here, and we're going to do an experiment and see if it works. So this is live radio. I'm going to try to just call her direct, Snack, okay? And
Okay.
and if we get that working, I'll bring you into that call, okay? So just bear with us one moment, folks. Okay. Let's see if we can get her in here. All right, Nomad. See, still says your microphone's muted, so it's definitely on your end here. You're going to have to click that little button that shows your microphone and unmute that. That's how you do that. Because you're muted. So, well, I apologize, folks. We've tried a couple of options here, but doesn't look like it's going to work. So, all right. Sorry about that, Nomad. We'll try again another time. Okay, Snack, can you hear me? Snacky, are you there? And now I'm all by myself, talking to myself. That's no fun. Well, technical difficulties, everybody. This is what happens when you try to do a completely live talk show. Snack, you should still be able to hear me. I'm not sure why you can't. So she should be able to hear me. Can anybody else hear me out there in Radio Land? I hope you all can hear me. Can you hear me? I just screwed everybody up here. Now, okay, everybody hears me, so we're still good. Jack, if you're ready, I noticed you left the chat room, so if we can get you on, Jack, maybe we can get you on here, because you were going to be our next guest anyway. Snack, are you there? I heard something.
I am here.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think Photography Nomad's got to just get her voice chat settings straightened out. Because
Okay.
even when I did a direct call, it was still saying her microphone was muted. So I'm not really sure what that was all about. So it wasn't the server. It wasn't anything like that. So
I think my sound is too loud right now.
okay, that should have fixed it.
Okay, thank you.
All right, everybody. Well, sorry for those quick technical difficulties. And it's just a few minutes after 6 o'clock here on the east coast of the U.S. It's about just after 11 o'clock Universal Time. You're listening to the Main Event Interviews Show here on MSP Waves Radio. And let me get the disclaimer here, because I haven't done that yet. Should have done that already.
Yeah.
Oops, I'm in the wrong place. Here we go. All right, of course, MSP Waves Radio and its owners take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by this talk show or my guests. Statements and show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of the radio station, and the material you're hearing on this show is provided for educational and informational purposes only.
And again, you did a great job at that.
Thanks. It's almost like I've done it before.
Yeah. Yeah.
A disclaimer, yes. So, we actually have some time here. Jack was going to be on, and I'm not sure if he's still going to be on or not. So, that's kind of up in the air right now. If anyone's listening out there and you're feeling brave and you want to join us on the show, we would be happy to have you on the air here with us for a few minutes. You don't have to stay for a long time. Okay, Jack's still saying he's ready, so let me send him a message here. That should get him back in here.
Let's hope so. Otherwise, I will end up singing a song, and that's you know.
I would like it, huh?
Hello, Jack.
Hello, everybody.
How you doing?
Actually working on the paper for tomorrow.
Okay, is it like a Steemit post, you mean, or?
Actually, it's like a block of the lines engine and putting the people who are on that community.
Okay, you said it was the Alliance? Sorry, you're cutting out there a little bit, Jack. Are you still with us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yep, You're saying, was that the Alliance group? Is that what you were talking about?
We're working like a daily paper to promote the people who joined the group.
Oh, okay, very cool. How long have you been on Steemit so far?
Actually, from the beginning of the summer, June or July, I'm not sure.
Jack, what is your actual Steemit username?
Jack Johannes Hemp.
Okay, so it's all one word. All right.
I have the link ready if you want me to share it.
Yes, please. And Jack, whereabouts in the world are you from tonight? Oh, did we lose him? I don't think we did. Jack, you still with us?
I'm from Belgium and Ghent. It's a small village city.
Okay, cool. And what have you been doing on Steemit so far? What have you been blogging about?
I have a few projects. Like every day I do the thought of the day. It's like some people can look at the morning and get inspired by it.
Okay, I don't know. Your mic's cutting out a little bit there, Jack.
You better so?
It's better now. Yeah, I can hear you now. Just maybe got to speak up a little bit because if it's not picking me up. Okay. So what types of groups are you in on Steemit, or any Steemit users you want to give a shout out to, or anything like that? Tell us about your Steemit experience so far.
And at the first time I just came here to Steemit to post like at the other channels like Facebook or Twitter or WordPress. But when I really get into this community, like this radio station, I really love it. It's really connecting people, and that's what I really love about it.
Yeah, it seems to be the big driving factor for everybody. What's keeping everybody here is just the community aspect of it and the networking. Are you finding that as well?
I got from the start off a lot of help from people, and I really liked it, and still do, and that's why I do like give also like free banners to the community back, because help each other, I guess.
So tell us about that. So you're making banners for people, you said?
Once a week I make like free banners, and people can use them for free to make the layout for the post better, and they love them.
Nice, that's really cool. And so that's something you're interested in, is like digital art and things like that?
The whole thing is, when I started using Steemit, I post a lot of drawings of naked girls, but it gets for work tag, and it's only porn most of the time. So those people don't look at that posts, so I really stopped it and start blogging poetry of myself and new projects what I do in real life. But
yeah, I know some artists are struggling with that because a lot of their stuff gets labeled as, not safe for work and all that, and then your post gets hidden, of course, and there's always that argument, well, it's art and all things like that. But yeah, I could see where that would be frustrating as an artist if your posts are getting, hidden away and things like that. But maybe the things like the poetry and things like that might go over better on Steemit,
Yeah, certainly.
So,
like I said, I started this week with the daily report every day, and it's also taking a lot of time because people what they think about Steemit and that kind of thing. So, but when I guess it's gonna be bigger and bigger, and I really love to do it.
Yeah, hopefully Steemit will continue to grow, and it's good that you've, branched out and you've joined a few different groups on Steemit. If anybody's listening out there and you're relatively new to Steemit and you haven't found your way to one of these groups, I mean, you should certainly look into it. not necessarily don't go into it thinking that you're going to get votes or follows or whatever, but just go there for the friendship and the networking and to read other people's content too. I think a lot of people forget about that. It's good to curate other people's content. Go read it, leave some comments, and things of that nature. Have you made a lot of connections with people from all over the world, Jack?
Well, yeah, I do. That's the whole thing. I really, and in the beginning, I was really looking just for new posts of artists, of all that kind of things, and I feel great to meet a lot of people of all. And the creativity here on this platform is really high, I guess, and I really love it.
Well, that's great to hear. Are there any other projects or posts you're planning on working on, or things that you want to mention to the audience out there to watch for, or anything like that?
If you or group the lines, and we also have a channel, and there's a daily post. Look at my blog, and you will find it. And most of the times in the morning, I prepare the Dutch one, and in most of the times in the evening, you will find the English one.
Great. Oh, so you're actually doing them in both languages. That's really cool.
Hard, but
yeah.
Yeah, the Lions Legions, I joined there as well. It's a wonderful group where you can meet people, mostly from the Netherlands and Belgium, but there are also a bunch of people from who speak English. And yeah, it's newly group, and I think Cevo started it eventually at start, and yeah, it's growing, and it's an amazing group to be in.
What's the name of it again?
The Lions Legion.
Oh, okay. Very cool. So you guys are both members of that, huh?
Yes, we are. And I will share a link in a minute.
Great. All right. Well, let's see if there's any questions from the audience out there. Again, we apologize for the technical issues we had a little bit earlier, and I hope that you all are still here with us. Let's see who's all out there. I see Eternarex's name. I see Your Nomad Soul. Earth Nation, welcome. That's a new name I haven't seen. Sevo. I always keep saying it wrong. I'm sorry. Safasera is out there. All right, so yeah, Sneck just shared the link to the Lions Legion. Very cool. It's interesting to see the different groups popping up, and they all serve a purpose. If you're into a certain type of content, or if you're from a geographical region, it's interesting to see all these different groups forming and how they're being used to help grow Steemit and just increase that networking. Are you guys having a pretty good experience with that Lions Legion group?
Oh, we just started it, and it's growing, and we all do our part, and that's really cool on it. Everybody do and help the group, and like I said, I think it's really important to connect to each other, and that's why I also started the daily, so people can know each other from the group. But with blogging, and now it's also radio, but I think blogging is also important about people, or about Steemit, or about Cryptancy, or all that.
Yeah, no, and it's great that you guys are able to, network together in that group, and it's great to see that it's working out for you all. That's good to hear. Let's see. I don't know if we had any other additional questions from the audience here. Let's see. Really appreciate you joining us tonight, though, Jack. We did share your link here in the audience chat room. Maybe we can share that one more time. And, everybody can feel free to check out that blog. And if you're from that region of the world, certainly you could look into that Lions Legion group. Tell us again who should join that group.
All people can join it, but it's most of the people are Dutch-speaking people. So
Okay. All right. Well, that's great. It's great to chat with you tonight, Jack. And yeah, Sneck just shared your profile there on your Steemit blog, so everybody can feel free to check that out if they'd like. And any parting
thank you
words
all.
for the audience, Jack? Anybody else you want to mention, or any things you just want to say before we say goodbye here?
A lot of people I really loved in this community all around Steemit. So I don't gonna start all the names because it will take me like hours. So I say do what you're doing now, and it's a great show. It's a great community, and it's the only thing I can say at the moment.
All right. Well, we appreciate that, and we appreciate you taking the time to come on the show with us. Thanks for your patience earlier. We appreciate it. All right, everybody. So that was Jack Johannes Hemp. All one word on Steemit. Snacky did share his blog in the chat room. We really appreciate him taking the time to jump on with us and say hello. Told us about the Dutch-speaking group mostly. It's not all, of course, but mostly. The Lions Legion. Very cool.
And I like the name, yes.
So, Sneck, so is that something you've been using a bit?
Yeah, I try to remember to tag my post with the Lions Legions as well, to give it more visibility in the Netherlands as well. I think it's growing, but it's still hard to find Dutch-speaking people in Steemit because everything is almost in English. So.
Right, yeah, it does seem like that's still the dominant language, and until, hopefully they'll come out with some way that it will just translate everything, so I don't know if that's impossible to do, but it would be nice so that everybody. I see a lot of people trying to do posts in multi languages and all these things, and hopefully there'll be a solution to that can make it more accessible for everybody to just be able to read each other's content and things of that nature.
Yeah, I would love to be able to read, for instance, the Korean posts, because there are a lot of Koreans posting artwork, but I can only see the drawings, and I would like to know more about it.
Everybody thinks you need to have a show, Sneck.
I don't know. I would be scared to have a show. You just left for 1 minute and a half, and I was going insane already.
I think you can handle it, but
maybe.
I'm happy to have you here with me on this show. So.
Yeah, me too. I like being here.
Well, Photography Nomad thinks she has got her stuff straightened out. So,
ooh, that would be cool.
We're going to try it again here. So, again, you're listening to the Main Event Interview Show here on MSP Waves Radio. My name is Main Event. My co-host, Poetic Snake. Say hi, Snecky.
Hi, Snecky.
You can join us every Wednesday here on the radio, and if you're interested in the radio station, just log on to mspwaves.com. You can find a full listing of all the radio shows. There's shows on every day. Not 24 hours a day, but there is content on there. But live shows every day. You'll just have to check the schedule to see when people are on. Lots of different topics. Some people are doing music shows. They're doing talk shows. Everything in between, some of both, so definitely check it out. And if you're interested in doing a show, you can certainly do that as well. You just have to be able to, of course, do a show at the same time every week, have enough content to fill a show. Sometimes we struggle with that, but we do our best. And, it's a lot of fun. So, and again, of course, if you have not checked out the Minnow Support Project, you should certainly do so. A great community of Steemit users. You can check that out at Minnow Support and join us on Discord in the Peace, Abundance, and Liberty server. That is the home of the Minnow Support on Discord. Lots of great chat rooms and places for you to socialize in there. And of course, you can chat along with us in the MSP Waves audience chat room, also on the PAL network. Again, my name is Main Event. Really appreciate you all tuning in. And let's see if we can get Photography Nomad on the show here. Let's see if we can make it happen.
Do I need to make special noises while we are waiting?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh, can you hear me now?
All right, we hear you now.
Yay, finally.
Welcome to the show, Photography Nomad.
Or Mean Mommy 33 for talking Steemit terms.
Okay, so hold on. Say that again. How do you spell it?
Mommy 33.
Just Mommy 33.
Mean, as in
Okay.
bad. Mean Mommy.
Oh, I see. Okay, hold on a second. Let's see if we can find your blog here.
With a different name on Discord.
Let's see. Mean Mommy 33. Is that it? Did I find you? Yes, I found you. All right, cool.
Yes.
So, whereabouts in the world are you this evening?
I'm in Copenhagen, Denmark. And I came back a few days ago from Lisbon, where I was there for the Steam Fest. And I'm very, very, very bummed, and I don't like it at all that I'm back. So, yeah.
Well, I'm super excited. I totally forgot that you got to go to Steam Fest, so that's amazing. So you're going to have to tell us all about it now. I don't know how many times you've told your story, but you're going to have to tell us now. So
well,
tell us about
I haven't told it many times yet. I keep posting now. I'm in this posting fever on Steemit. Well, in one word, it was, I think, for all of us, because we kept contact with most people there. It was so amazing. It's like a dream. We keep sleeping every night, hoping we're gonna wake up and be there, and we're not, and we're so disappointed. Where do you want me to start? Just ask something specific so I can tell you about it.
So,
Because
was this your first Steam Fest?
yes, it
Okay.
was.
Now, what inspired you to go? Did you did you just decide to go on your own? Did you like win a contest? What really drove you to want to go to Steamfest?
Actually, my boyfriend, who's also on Steemit, his name is Kreuzi. He's the one who introduced me to Steemit and to crypto and to everything. So the plan initially was for us to go together. But he had a family emergency and he couldn't go. So I was balancing between not going either or going alone. And it was such a hassle to find a proper normal price flight from up here in Denmark, because it's very expensive to go anywhere from here. So I kept finding obstacles, and I kept thinking that, okay, maybe I shouldn't go. Maybe that's a bad sign, nothing is working out. Maybe I shouldn't go. I did pay a load of money to be there, but it's worth every penny. I wanted to go because I don't do just one thing on Steemit. Like, okay, I'm a photographer, but I'm also involved in different teams and I do different stuff. So I thought it would be nice, to be there and meet people and socialize and everything. And I'm not regretting it, like, not just one bit. Even if I had to pay double what I paid, I would still go. So I think that's pretty descriptive.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. It makes me so jealous that I couldn't go. I really wish I could have gone, for sure.
You should have, but I'm pretty sure you're gonna make it at the third one. That's gonna be huge.
I'm gonna try anyways. I'm gonna try to find out where it is, of course, and if it seems feasible, I'm definitely gonna make an effort to be there. Maybe we can do this show live from Steamfest. That would be pretty cool.
It'll be so awesome. Actually, I think they're talking about doing it in the US because there were many Americans who joined. And, I was whining about going from Denmark to Portugal, and there were people there from California. And I was like, okay, maybe now I should shut up because they came all this way. So I'm still in Europe. I mean, for me, it was not that bad. And, well, maybe the most important thing you need to know that I haven't posted about it yet is that I'm the girl who asked the Steemit panel if they think that Steemit is going to cause the death of Facebook.
I didn't catch that. So what did they say to your question.
Yes, Ned didn't answer because at the point he wasn't at the panel. So when I talked to him later in private and I said, hey, I was expecting you to jump in and say something, he said, well, I wasn't in the panel. I wasn't part of the panel, so I didn't want to just jump in and say stuff. But the Sneak and the rest of the developers, okay, one of them said yes, just loud and clear. Yes. Steemit is going to just kill Facebook. But Sneak was a bit more, he elaborated on the different audiences that Steemit and Facebook have right now, and that even if it's growing fast, it doesn't mean that it's going to make the rest of social media vanish because it's not the same audience. But because that was just a question, we couldn't interact to their answer, so we couldn't answer back. But when I talked to Ned later, I said, yes, it's different audiences now because we're not as many. If I had all my friends on Steemit, I would never use any Facebook, like not Messenger, not Facebook, not anything. I would just chat with my friends on Steemit stuff and like everything on Steemit. So personally, I don't think it's a matter of different audience as much as how many people we are.
Yeah, and I mean, like people are saying in the chat right now, you know, each one has its own place. I don't think that Steemit will replace Facebook, but, you know, like myself, if I didn't use Facebook for other purposes, like promoting my DJing and things of that nature, I probably would never use it again. And since I've joined Steemit, I have barely used it at all. And I think once more people make that leap, that's probably what will happen, is these people will still keep their Facebook or their Instagrams or their whatevers, you know, to still message. Like a lot of people say they keep those platforms to interact with their family or their high school friends or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's fine, and they'll keep it for that. But these people that are creative and actually post interesting creative things to those platforms will probably, the light bulb moment will go off and they'll say, well, wait a minute, why am I even wasting my time posting there when I could post here? You know, and I could still keep that for, you know, messaging my cousin or whatever, you know. So
Exactly.
that's where
what
I
I'm
see
saying,
it.
that the audience depends where the audience is. I mean, if I knew that I have, you know, my family and all my friends, everyone joined Steemit, then we would talk on Steemit and I wouldn't use Facebook anymore. So I'm not sure. I mean, but the growth, they showed us some numbers. I'm trying to find the right picture now. I don't know if I have it. Now we are 400,000 users on Steemit. Okay, not all of them active, clearly, but I mean, that's insane.
It's getting there.
Yeah, I mean, if you think that, okay, it started a year and a half ago, but most people, including me, joined this year and in the middle probably of this year, like April, May, June, around there. So we're talking about what, 6 months?
Yeah, no, it's come a long way in those 6 months too. I mean, of course, it's had its struggles, you know, with the connection issues and everything, and you know they've updated the way it looks and everything, and there's been a lot of changes. But did they talk about that at Steamfest? Did they talk about the problems that the platform's been having? I'm curious about that.
Oh, they talked a little bit. The developers talked a little bit about technical stuff that most people there couldn't understand because they're anti-tech like me apparently. But they didn't talk about the problems. They just talked about changes they did or they want to do. For example, they talked about the night mode, that apparently it's not only on the app anymore, it's also on the website, like on steam.com. Talked about the new logo. I don't know if you've seen the new logo.
Oh, yes. Yep.
But no one could really understand what that is. Apparently, it's an S.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Not most people didn't really like it, but they asked them about the color, why this color, and they said because we don't want to be blue like most of other social media. Facebook much, yes. But they didn't talk. No, they didn't really. At least at the conferences I was, because in the end we were so many people that they had to break down the conferences in 2 rooms. So some speakers went in one room and some speakers on the other one at the same time. So not all of us heard everything. But I did follow the developers mostly, and they didn't really mention about the problems, and probably no one had the nerve to ask them, because they were taking questions. So one question could have been, okay, what's up with the problems? Why can't we solve that? But no one really asked that. And it's still beta. Well, no, it doesn't seem beta. It doesn't say beta anymore.
It still says beta on mine on a desktop. It may not say it on mobile, I'm not sure. But mine still says beta, yep.
Mine still says beta as well.
Yeah. But no, and it's really interesting that you got to go there. I think that's amazing. So did you get to have any actual like one-on-one conversations with any of those big name people, or was it mostly just asking questions from the audience?
Most things that I heard from there was one-to-one, and Ned with Sneak, with Anarchy, with so many people. I wrote them down because I talked with Sterling, that he has the cryptocurrency consulting company in the US. It wasn't, with some of them, it wasn't long, because everyone wanted a piece of them and talk a little bit, so I couldn't just talk to them for an hour. I talked with some witnesses as well. I talked with Mike, that he's responsible of the translations now, because apparently they want to make Steemit multilingual, and I speak many languages, so I talked with them about that. I talked with the organizer. I mean, yeah, but most importantly, I talked with Ned, and even if what we are thinking about Steemit comparing to Facebook or to other social media, replacing or kind of like that, I think he doesn't really like that.
No.
It's heading this way. Yeah.
It's interesting. If that was me, I wouldn't want to be pushing that narrative either. Just because, that's a uphill battle. And, you don't need that kind of an adversary out of the gate. I think Steemit is better suited to do what they're doing, where they're promoting like the smart media tokens and Steam itself versus, Steemit being this thing that's going to take everything down, because I don't think that's what's going to be the case. But Steam itself and what could become of the blockchain and everything else could, turn into something quite profitable for people. And so who knows? We're of course not financial experts. Do your own research. But what did it sound like from him that of course he's going to be positive about it, but what did you take away from those conversations with Ned and others?
Well, I think they're planning of doing what you just said, like make Steam or make Steemit worth more. I really think that they're pursuing growth, and they're happy with the growth that is already there. But as one of the developers mentioned, I think it was Justin, I'm not 100% sure, I have the video though, was that the difference between this particular platform and all the other platforms is that from this platform, profit. From the other platforms, they get profit from you. So got from all the talks and from everything I heard from everyone is that, look, we want to keep it this way. It's getting bigger. It might be huge very soon, but we really want to keep it the way it started. At least that's the feeling I got from all of them, and from fellow Steemians and everyone. And I guess that's good. I mean, I don't know about you as a Steemian, but me, the same. I don't want to see Steemit changing, but not changing, in a bad way. So
No, and I think once they can get these technical issues out of the way, you have to be able to at least log on, do a post, leave comments, and vote without it giving you problems. If they can't sustain that and they can't make it work, I don't see it succeeding. If it can't even do those basic functions. If they can do those basic functions and make it so that it, works 99% of the time, and you maybe once in a blue moon get an issue, that's whatever. But if it can't do those basic things, I don't see how it could survive. But if they do, then, I mean, Steemit's wide open, right? It can be anything. It can be people's blogging site. It can be people's photography site. It can be whatever they want it to be. And then these sub-communities like Minnow Support and, many others, they're just extensions of that, and there's just going to be more things that will keep going from that as well. And, I mean, of course, you're part of a curator group. You're in the OCD curators. And that's another part of Steemit, is a whole nother level of it, is the curation side of it and everything, not just content creators, but the curators as well. And so that part of it, as long as they can keep that going, then I think it will succeed. But go right ahead.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, if it keeps on like this, I mean, us that we are already on it and we do stuff, we bear with it. But if someone's new and just joined and has all those problems, he's like, okay, whatever, what is this platform? I can't even comment, or I can't post. I get errors all the time. Yeah, clearly. But I think it's a matter of time for that to be solved. It can't be that hard. I'm not a developer, but yeah, I don't know. I think they're going to solve that soon. Something that I think you saw, I think we were on the chat of OCD at the time, but I'm not sure. We got mentioned by Ned during his talk as OCD.
Yeah, I heard that. Is he was talking about delegations, right?
And I don't know. It's very weird because we had a little talk before this talk, like the day before. And I was telling him that I'm a member of the OCD, and OCD is a great team, and they're trying to do this and trying to do that. And the next day when I was there and he was doing his talk, he mentions OCD, and he doesn't even bother saying the names of anyone else doing, similar stuff. And I'm like, okay, maybe we're bigger than we thought.
You gave a good impression, apparently.
I really hope so, because, it's not... because I also work for another team, as I mentioned. I work for Spaminator as well. When I was there, it wasn't just about introducing myself. I was talking about on Steemit and who I work with on Steemit. And I was mentioning Steemians that weren't there because they couldn't make it. I also mentioned, I don't know if you know your fellow American, Nature of Being. She's an artist and she couldn't be there. And we FaceTime sometimes with other Steemians so she can meet people even though she couldn't be there. So my mission at the Steam Fest wasn't to, oh, this is me, I'm in mommy and I'm awesome, whatever, who cares? I'm new anyway. My mission was to promote the teamwork and whatever we do. And I already have 3 or 4 projects lined up with Steemians we met there, and we want to do them now after we met. So, I've been there.
I think it's really awesome that you actually got to go, and that I haven't talked to anybody who actually got to go. I know of a few other members within the OCD group and a few others that got to go, but I just haven't had a chance to talk to them yet. And so that's really great that you are on the show tonight and you can tell us a little bit more about Steamfest and your experience there. Are there other things you want to mention about the experience while you were there? Any other fun things that you got to do, or just anything at all?
Yeah, so I don't know what the fellow OCD creators are gonna say, but with whoever I talk after, we say the same stuff. Like, it was amazing, and incredible, very organized, and everything was awesome, and the food and the drinks and the fun and the conferences and the talks, and we love this team and blah blah. We all say the same. So that's why I invented a term. This term goes only for the Lisbon Steamfest, but I'm going to invent a new one for the next one. It's called post-LXSF depression. LX stands for Lisbon and SF stands for Steamfest. So it's the post-Lisbon Steamfest depression that we are all experiencing right now, getting back home, feeling so bummed. It's been already almost a week for me that I left, and I still can't get over it. So yeah, from that you can get that it was pretty big, and we're gonna make it bigger the next time for sure. Yeah.
Well, that's really great. And I mean, if it's in the US next year, I'm planning something big. I want to go. I want to bring enough stuff with me that we can do the radio show from there, that we could do like some live chats, maybe some live streams, something of that nature. If I go next year, we're going to do some fun stuff. I'm going to make sure we've got the resources put together to, maybe do some podcasts or like I said, some streaming or something from there. Because that would be a lot of fun. So I'm hoping it's in the U.S. next year. I know a lot of people are hoping it's still going to be in Europe again next year, but bring it to at least North America.
That's that. No, I think it's not fair. I mean, it's been already in Europe twice. Okay, Roland, the organizer, he's Dutch, so the first time he did it in Amsterdam, very logical. He wanted to test, to see how it goes. It went well. Then he went to Southern Europe because weather. I mean, we had 25 degrees in Lisbon, and I have 2 here in Copenhagen now, in Celsius talking, which is big difference. I get it, but the American Steemians are a lot, and a lot of them made it there. So I think, I mean, okay, I love Asia too. I don't know the audience, how many people they are from Asia, but I really think it should be in the US. I mean, I'm the European voting for the US. So, yeah, I really hope.
Some people in the audience are saying Canada too. But, Canada would be fine because, like some people are mentioning, travel restrictions and things like that. But, as long as it's in North America, I will try to go. If it's in Mexico, Canada, US, I'll be there.
Well, I don't know if you know the amazing Steambirds, the band.
I've heard of it. Yep.
Okay, and they're awesome, by the way. All their songs are about Steemit. Have to do with Steam and Steemit, and they're so funny. So they're based in Toronto. So, if it's in Toronto, that's that close to New York. I don't think it's a problem for Americans or Europeans, for that matter. But I love the US personally.
We'll have to see. We'll have to just see what happens. But it's really great that you got to go. Is there any other stories or things you want to mention from Steamfest, or we can move on to other topics? Any other things you want to talk about?
Stop me, because you keep asking me, and if you keep asking me about Steamfest, I won't stop.
Well, that's good. We want to hear it.
There's no stopping there.
We want to hear it.
A question.
Sneck's got a question. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you were on Steamfest, so I was wondering, did you taste the amazing candy Mamacita was handing out?
I think so. Well, you hear me like this because We kept eating all day long, and I'm not really sure what I ate or not. Like, seriously, the food, guys, from the morning, breakfast, then coffee break, then lunch, then coffee break, then dinner, and then drinks. I mean, I couldn't even walk when I left Lisbon, seriously, from the food. So, yeah.
Well, that's really awesome. And, like I said, I definitely want to go next year. So, are there any other things you want to talk about with the group here? Any other things in your own personal blog you want to mention? Or any other group projects or anything you want to talk about? Or any people you want to give shout outs to at all?
Okay, yes. Actually, since I'm here, I might as well talk about the projects. Okay, my blog initially started as photography blog because I'm a photographer, but I'm also a translator and writer. So lately I also write, and I'm new into cryptocurrency, so I don't want to write about crypto because I might sound like a total newbie, which I am. Uh, but I did get into Steemit a lot because of Steamfest. So my latest posts, I did one about photography, but the rest of them are going to be about Steemit and Steam and stuff like that. But the projects we are talking about, well, we talk about with a witness of doing a camp fest, a kind of hipster Steam fest, not the fancy one that we were. We're talking with another fellow Steemian of creating an account and trying to fix a project to bring more women into crypto and Steemit. Because I need to tell you here that the proportion, the analogy at Steamfest was, to be very, very fair, 25 to 75.
Yeah.
We need more women. I mean, that was another kind of fest for that matter. So yeah, we're also talking about I have a Steemian friend that he's into spiritual stuff, and he wants to get the project started, but we don't really know any details yet. So we have a Skype appointment tomorrow to talk and see how we get this going. And I keep on OCD and Spaminator as well. I'm writing or editing or whatever I can to both. So basically that's my full-time job now. I mean, Steemit. After Steamfest, I don't care about anything else. I'm being completely honest here. So yeah, that's it.
Well, that's great, and we really appreciate you being on the show. Is there any parting words for anyone out there that you want to say to the audience at all, or anything at all? I'll open it up to you to give your final farewells or closing comments here.
My closing comment should be about my two favorite Steemians. One of them wasn't there, the other one was, and they're both incredible people and very talented to what they do. One is Kreutzy that I mentioned before. It's Creutzy. Weird name, I know. It's his gaming name apparently. And he's a great photographer. He started after me, but I think he's getting better than me, and I'm getting pissed off about it. But I still want to promote him because he's pretty awesome. And the other one is the Monetary Few, that he managed to bear with me for 3 days during Steamfest. He's a Belgian writer who lives in Lisbon, and he's working as a Dutch writer, article writer, and he's very much into crypto, and his account is just simply awesome. He doesn't post often, but when he does, it's awesome. So yeah, those are my last words. I just wanted to talk about other people because I talked a lot about me. And thank you for this time, giving me the time to everything.
Anytime. We really appreciate you being here on the show with us. It's definitely a
I managed
pleasure.
to fix the microphone, so I was good to go, finally.
Yeah, we had a little bit of technical difficulties earlier on, but you did make your way on here, and we really appreciate that. I'm going to share your blog in the chat room one more time. So your Steemit name is MeanMommy33, but you go by Photography Nomad. That's what you prefer, right?
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
All right, everybody. So if you're not in the chat room and you missed it, it is at MeanMommy33 is her Steemit name. So definitely check out her blog. She's a fellow OCD curator as well, and part of it's the Spaminator group, right? You said?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being on the show with us tonight, Mean Mommy 33. Thank you so much.
So much for having me, and well, good night from Europe because it's 1 a.m. here. But you keep on, and we'll talk on OCD at some point.
Thank you. Have a great evening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. So that was Photography Nomad, as she likes to be called, but of course, Steemit username is MeanMommy33. Thank you so much for being on the show. That was wonderful. We actually had somebody on from Steamfest, Snecky.
Yeah, we did.
I totally forgot about that too. So that was unexpected and a nice surprise. So, like I said, if Steamfest is in the U.S. next year, I don't care where it is. I'm going. I'm planning on going. I'll book a whole vacation around it. I never go on vacation usually. I usually just work all the time. But I would make an exception for that. And like I said, I would drive right out there with the DJ stuff, and we'll make it a good time. I'll try to get involved with it if I can, and maybe we could plan everybody's been talking about doing the MSP prom.
Yeah,
and I think that would be a lot of fun.
Idea.
I think that would be fun.
We should do that. Absolutely.
Yeah, and it would just be interesting to see that happen. And no matter what, I would go and at least do like the radio show from there, and we could do like some live streams and things, and we would make it a lot of fun. So
yeah, I'm planning on going out as well next year, no matter where it is though.
Yeah, I mean, if it's too far away, I may not be able to make all that happen, but if it's in the US, I can definitely do it. So
I will join too if it is in the US. I will travel for it.
So, everybody, we're going to start winding things down here. We got a little under 10 minutes left of the show. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It has been a pleasure to be here with you tonight. We did have a few technical difficulties, and I apologize for that, but we made it through.
It's live, people.
It is 100% live here. If you're just joining us, welcome. This is the Main Event Interview Show on MSP Waves Radio, part of the Minnow Support Project. You can find us in the Peace, Abundance, Liberty server on Discord and mspwaves.com. You can find all the radio shows, the full schedule, find out some more information if you'd like, and definitely check out all the shows. There's shows on every day, and they're all done by your fellow Steemians. So if you enjoyed this one, I'm sure you'll enjoy the others, so definitely check them out. You can follow MSP Waves on Steemit. It's MSP-Waves on Steemit. Actually, let me get the link here, and we can share that in the chat room as well. So, Poetic Snake, what did you think of the show tonight?
I think it was a great show with a lot of people, all very interesting.
Yes, we had Stace was on the show first, then we had Top K-Pop, and Jack Johannes Hemp was on the show. Photography Nomad finally joining us there at the end. Did I miss anybody? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
I always worry that I'm going to miss somebody. When we have so many people on, sometimes I lose track. But no, we appreciate all of you coming on the show tonight. It was a pleasure to have you on. And so let's see who's in the chat room right now. We got a few minutes left here. We can kind of have a little discussion here with the audience chat. What did you all think of the show tonight? What do you all think of this show, by the way? I've been doing this show for a few months now. It's kind of evolved from being all pre-recorded interviews, which I used to do. I used to tape them all in advance, and then I would jump on here by myself and play them. But we've evolved it now into more of a live show. where we bring everybody on live. And of course, there are sometimes some technical difficulties with that, but we get through it. I'm curious what you all think. I hope you're all enjoying this format. And, you know, I think it's a lot of fun to do. I love chatting with you all and hearing your Steemit stories, what brought you to the platform, what you blog about, all of these things. So let's check out the audience here and see what's going on. I see Top K-Pop out there. She says it's a great show. We appreciate that. Cepha Sarah's out there. Tattooed Jay is out there. Welcome, Tattooed Jay. I'm going to be honest with you, Jay. When I first read your username, because I'm a DJ, I thought it said Tattoo DJ. That's how I read that. And I was like, oh, he's a DJ. But no, it's Tattooed Jay, I believe. So we appreciate you being here. Stace, of course, was a guest on the show tonight. Sivo is out there listening, saying he loves the show. Appreciate it. Saipen Damashi, welcome, and says the show's awesome. Your Nomad Soul is out there as well. Eternarex, appreciate you always tuning in as well. Great show, likes the format. Let's see, Jack Johannes Hemp. He's got a nice little picture on there. It says, I love MSP Waves Radio. That's pretty cool. Jack, did you make that? And if so, do we have the permission to maybe share that on our Steemit blogs or something? Because that's pretty neat if you made that.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Rondon's out there listening. Appreciate all the work he does with the radio station. Simgirl, also, I see. Cubby Elizabeth, of course. Been doing a lot of great posts for the station. We really appreciate all the work she's been doing. I know I saw Crimson Clad out there. Let's run down the list of people listening through Discord. There's all kinds of people. 432 Hertz Creation is out there. Is it Nylon 11? I think that's how I'd say that. Pensive, I see in the chat room listening. Any other names I missed? I think that was everybody. Appreciate you all tuning in. It's been a lot of fun. Again, this show airs every Wednesday. It'll now be 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time, or it's still the same in Universal Time. It's 10 to midnight Universal Time, so we're coming up on midnight here. Appreciate you all listening to the show. I am going to I will be posting the show on my blog shortly here. As soon as we get off the air, I'll upload that onto YouTube, and we'll share that as a show post on my Steemit blog. And I'm going to share that right now. I'm going to selflessly plug myself here because I'm getting close to 1,000 followers, so it would be really awesome if I could hit that milestone. That would be really neat. I don't have anywhere near that level of followers on any of my other social media, so it's really awesome that getting close to that 1,000 followers. I really appreciate you all supporting what I do. It's a pleasure to help you all out, and I do a lot of curation. I'm not sure if a lot of you know that. We were mentioning that with Photography Nomad. I do curate with the OCD group. I curate with MuxieBot, and I may actually be starting up curating with Minnow support here soon. Actually, I'm going to try to work on something where I may be focusing on introduce yourself posts. So people that are new to Steemit, I'm going to try to curate some of their posts. You can support what we do here through delegation, things like that. If you'd like to delegate to us Steam Power, that's wonderful. We greatly appreciate it. That in turn helps people that we curate, so gets them more rewards. So always appreciate that as well. Snecky, any final words here for the end of the show here?
Just want to thank all the guests for coming on and giving us these amazing interviews. And thank you all for listening and tuning in once again. And hopefully see you next week.
Yes. All right, let me just tag Rondon here. Rondon, we're going to shut her down here in just a minute at 55:55 as usual. So, again, thank you all so much for tuning in. This is the main event interview show on MSP Waves. You can find all the information about all the radio shows at mspwaves.com or msp-waves on Steemit. Of course, my name is Main Event. It's spelled M-A, the number 1, N-E-E-V-E-N-T. So it's like Maine, like the state, but with a number 1. It was an old gamer tag. What can I say? I used it for my Steemit login, and the rest is history. But anyway, and of course we're visiting my co-host, Poetic Snake. Appreciate her being on the show with me. It's definitely made the show a lot better bringing her on here with me. So thank you, Snecky.
I love being on with your show.
Well, we appreciate it.
Me too.
And thank you to everybody who listened tonight. There's a lot of people out in the audience. Thank you all so much. We had a good crowd in here tonight. And again, you can tune into us every Wednesday here on MSP Waves. This is the Main Event Interviews Show. We're going to come up with a new name, I swear. Maybe next week. We'll see. We'll keep it for now. But all right, everybody, have a great night, and we will see you next time. This is Main Event signing out.